Right now, something is buried in a London pavement that most people walk over every day. It's been there for centuries, nobody looks down, and it's just one of 10 secrets this city hides in plain sight. From strange marks on iron to ancient stones no one can explain, we're counting down 10 London mysteries you see but never question. Number 10 might be the most famous of them all. In the 10th place, a red telephone box stands on a London street corner, as familiar as a double-decker bus. But most people have no idea why it looks like that. The story starts in 1924, when architect Giles Gilbert Scott entered a competition to design a new public phone box. His winning design, the K2, was made of cast iron and looked almost like a tiny cathedral. Scott wanted the box to be silver with a blue-green interior, but the General Post Office made a bold decision. They painted it bright red so it would never be missed. The K2 arrived in 1926 and the smaller K6 followed in 1935 for King George V's Jubilee. Today, many of these boxes are protected as Grade 2 listed buildings. Some have even been given new lives as mini libraries or emergency defibrillator stations, quietly saving lives right where people once made their calls. Number 9, a pillar post box stands on the pavement, bright red, heavy, and always there when you need to send a letter. But the real secret is hidden in plain sight. The royal cipher on the front. Those letters and numbers are not random. They show which king or queen was on the throne when the box was made. VR for Queen Victoria, GR for George V, EIIR for Elizabeth II. Even the newest boxes now carry CRIII for Charles III. The idea for these boxes came from Anthony Trollope, a novelist who worked for the post office in the 1850s. London got its first pillar boxes in 1855. At first they were painted green to blend in, but people kept missing them. Only in 1874 did they turn red. Suddenly, the city had a secret timeline written on every street corner, if you know how to read it. 8th place, a red circle with a blue bar flashes by on every platform. The underground roundel is everywhere, on signs, maps, even tickets. But it is not just decoration. The first roundel landed in 1908, built for one reason: instant recognition in a blur of advertising. In 1916, Edward Johnston created a new typeface just for London's trains. His letters are simple, bold, and easy to read from a distance. The roundel and Johnston's lettering worked together, making the network feel like one system, even when it was not. In 1933, the city unified its transport. That year, every sign, poster, and timetable got the same look. The roundel and Johnston font became law for the network. Today, even the smallest station uses this code. It is a secret design language, hiding in plain sight, guiding millions through the city without a word. Number 7, a round metal cover sits flush with the pavement, easy to step over, almost invisible. But this is a coal hole cover, not just a random disc in the sidewalk. In Victorian London, every home needed coal for heat. Delivery wagons would stop outside, lift the lid, and tip heavy sacks straight into the cellar below. By the mid-1800s, these covers were everywhere. Some are plain, but many show off fancy patterns or the name of the foundry that cast them, like a secret business card pressed into iron. The Hayward brothers, S. Sykes & Co. and others left their mark right under people's feet. Today, these covers are tiny fossils of a lost fuel network. Most people walk by without a clue that every clang underfoot is a memory from London's coal-fired past. Number 6, a flat metal grill sits in the pavement, barely noticed by the crowd. But this patch isn't just part of the sidewalk, it's a vent for the London Underground. When the first deep tube lines opened in the early 1900s, trains heated up the tunnels fast. Hot air and steam had to go somewhere, so engineers cut vents right through to the street above. Those grills let trapped air escape, sometimes sending up a warm gust as a train rushes by. Early designs were so powerful, they startled horses and shoppers with sudden drafts. Later versions tried to hide the vents and soften the airflow. Most people walk over them without a second thought, but every grill connects the busy street to a huge machine humming far below. The city's hidden engine breathes through these metal lungs just under your feet. Number 5. A bench end curls into a swirl of iron under your hand. At your feet, a drain grill shows off a wild pattern of leaves or scrolls. The base of a lamppost looks almost like lace cast in metal. These pieces are everywhere in London, but few people notice the small details. In the Victorian age, foundries like Coalbrookdale and Fletcher's made these parts by pouring molten iron into molds. Each batch carried its own pattern, flowers, lions, even the maker's name stamped into the metal. That mark is a hidden signature, telling you who made it and sometimes even when. The city ordered thousands, turning utility into art. For Victorians, decoration was as important as strength. Today, every bench end and cast iron base is a quiet clue to the city's industrial past, hiding a maker's pride right where you might rest or walk. Number 4. A tiny iron ring sits in the curb or peeks out from a stone wall. Most people walk by without a glance, but this small loop is a leftover from London's horse-powered days. Back when carriages and carts filled the streets, these rings anchored the city's traffic. Drivers would tie their horses to the rings while making a delivery or stopping for a quick errand. The practice goes back to the medieval era and continued well into the age of steam and early cars. In 1902, the city made it official. Every new curb had to include a hitching ring, spaced every 15 to 20 feet. Most are just dark, weathered iron, worn smooth by years of use. Some still survive on Threadneedle Street or near Leadenhall Market, almost hidden in the stone. One tiny ring, and suddenly the whole street looks different. A city built for hooves, not horns. Number 3. A small bronze plaque clings to a riverside wall or the base of a bridge. Most people pass by without a glance, but this marker is a record of disaster, not design. It shows exactly how high the water rose during London's worst floods. One plaque in Fulham remembers the Thames flood of 1928 when the river burst its banks and swept through the streets. Another, on the Essex side, marks the North Sea flood of 1953 when a storm surge overwhelmed the city's defenses. The plaques don't just give a date, they show the water's reach, sometimes 3 meters above street level. Some are set into stone, others fixed to bridge piers, all hidden in plain sight. They are silent warnings, reminders that even London's solid ground has been underwater before. Every plaque is a quiet line between safety and disaster, etched right onto the city's skin. Number 2, a narrow alley squeezes between tall buildings, barely wide enough for 2 people to pass. The city of London is full of these hidden lanes, each with a name that sounds like a riddle: Pepys Lane, Brewers Hall Court, and St. John's Court. But these passages aren't just shortcuts. They are survivors from the medieval city, left untouched when most streets were widened or rebuilt after the Great Fire. Old maps show these alleys in the same spots, with the same names for centuries. The labels court, alley, and passage hint at how people once moved through the city, slipping between property lines that have barely shifted since the 1500s. Even today, the twists and turns of these lanes follow ancient boundaries set by forgotten deeds. Every odd-shaped court or crooked alley is a clue to a vanished London, still shaping the way people walk the city. And finally, in first place, a tiny stone or metal plaque sits low on a wall or half buried in the pavement. Most people never see them, but these are parish boundary markers, the city's secret code. Each one marks the invisible line where one parish ended and another began. In the Georgian era, officials walked the boundaries every year, checking these markers to settle arguments over taxes and church rights. Some stones are just numbers, others spell out the name of a vanished parish. Thousands still survive, hidden in plain sight across the city. Some are chipped, some almost erased, but each one draws a line that shaped the way London was run. These stones are the city's oldest paperwork, turned into rock. Next time you spot a strange number carved into the curb, remember London is covered in secret borders. And if you look closely, you might find other cities have their own hidden lines, waiting to be found. Across all these hidden details, one thing stands out: London's secrets live in plain sight. The city's ordinary features are really clues to centuries of design and survival. And here's the twist: every city has mysteries like these. Next time, look closer. What secrets is your own city hiding?